He's probably watching.
Hello and welcome back to a very special episode of the Game Huggers Game Hump. Wow, I haven't called it Game Hump in a while. The Game Huggers podcast, Wednesday nights. That's right, your midweek addiction hath returned. We're back. We're back this week with our panel of experts. We've got Tweak here this week. Say hello, Tweak.
What's going on?
What's going on? And we also have Lukester.
What's up?
Lukester is the only member of our podcast that was born in the 2000s. Did you know that? Did you know?
Actually, the 2010s. You're off by a decade.
I am still the 2000s. If it's 2099 or 2001, it's still the 2000s, isn't it? Is that true?
He's got him there.
I've got you there. I got the oof. Yes, but yes, we're back. We're back, and we're excited to have everybody on, and we're excited to have people watching. If they're going to be watching this week, I'm not sure if anybody will, but I'm sorry for being so unreliable, I guess you could say, as far as when these things happen. Life gets in the way sometimes. School is out though for the year, and summer is just about here, or is here. Isn't today? Oh no, tomorrow. That's like this weekend.
It's 2 days from now. I think it's the 21st, isn't it?
I think it's the 21st. You're right. The 21st is the official first day of summer 2019. But it's nice out. Weather's been really great, and we're game hugging. So we're just gonna do one. We're free. We're able to talk. I think a couple good topics to talk about this week on June 19th, 2019 is E3. That just happened last week. A lot of big shakeups are happening in the video game universe. That as well as game collecting. I think that was a kind of a cool topic. That was actually something we were going to talk about all the way back in mid-May when we attempted to do our last one. We had technical difficulties because Google Hangouts sucks. By the way, this program is bullshit. We're going to try to I've got to figure out open broadcast software, OBS, whatever it is, and just get like Cyrus got this really nice sweet setup for his Retro Japan group where they do their Saturday Night Lives or whatever. I got to get something sweet like that set up so I can have graphics and all kinds of shit going on. But like until then, we're still using Google Hangouts until we can figure out how to get that other thing working. But yes, Game Huggers podcast back this week, Wednesday night. If you want to follow us on the Game Huggers channel, you just or whatever Game Huggers crap you want to look it up, facebook.com/Game Huggers. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at _Joshua Turbo. Don't forget the underscore, as it is the most important underscore in all of the internet. Anyway, so what do you want to talk about? Pickups? What do we want to talk about first, guys? What are we doing here?
Maybe we could do pickups.
Man, I don't have anything new to talk about. I have not purchased any new games. Oh wait, what was it? Shit, something. There's something on the Switch recently. God damn it, I don't remember. Oh no, there's Secret of Mana collection. Okay, so I picked that up on the Switch. That's pretty sweet. It's $30 though. Or was it 39? There's a lot. It was more expensive than it should have been for 3 retro games, like the Game Boy game of Final Fantasy Adventure, Seiken Densetsu, Secret of Mana 1 or 2, and then the third one. That's the first time it's ever officially translated and brought out in the U.S. But that came out on the second day of E3. I believe it was Tuesday of last week, so it's been out for like 8 days now. But I picked that up, and I also got NBA 2K19 for the Switch because it was $3.99.
There you go.
But it was also 37 gigs, so I literally had to get another SD card. I think I got a 128 gig one, and it's already like over halfway full. I know, right? It's crazy.
I love those day one patches.
I know. So the whole damn game is like bigger than a 32 gig SD card. So it's like, damn, the Switch is so dumb. Nintendo with their tiny little limited, space that they put on these systems. I mean, the Xbox One is like either 500 gig or a terabyte.
Same with the
terabyte now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And then for the Switch, you get 32 gigs. Like,
well, even with the PlayStation, it's like I had, when I bought Black Ops 4, it was like, hey, here's a 50 gig download for you day one, and it sets aside a far larger chunk than 50 gigs.
I know. It's crazy.
No, it's like, it keeps pinging me like, hey, your hard drive's full. I'm like, no, it's not.
I think one of the big mamas is Gears of War 4. I downloaded that on my computer recently. 130 gigabytes. Ungodly amount.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Hard drive space is hard to keep it going. So what does anybody have anything new to talk about? I've actually been selling lots and lots and lots of games recently. I actually sold, not all games, but a lot of like toys and like accessories and crap like that, controllers and shit. I've actually sold since April. I've sold over 100 items on eBay.
Hmm.
I know.
Those fees
right?
will hit you before you know it.
Yeah, they
18%.
at the end of the month that message. It's like, hey, you owe us money. Like what?
Yep. It was I think April's was like $42, and then in May it was 130 something. So yeah, that just all of a sudden popped up and was like, oh, you're charge $130, and it's like, well, at least I'm saving money because I'm selling stuff. But there's a lot of stuff going on. I got a game conventions, a couple of them. I got a game convention to run in September. I've got Gen Con coming up at the end of July, and so I was just trying to like figure out a way to make it so that I can go to these things, be comfortable, and not have any impact on my like income and my, not necessarily have to save money and change my lifestyle completely, but just get rid of stuff that I just don't have any use for. I didn't sell anything that I have any nostalgic ties to. I didn't sell anything that I really enjoy playing. It's all stuff that's been just sitting on the shelves and just collecting dust. And I'm like, you know what? I went through my NES collections. I went through my Super Nintendo games, Genesis games, Dreamcast stuff. Even I had a sealed Dreamcast game, almost kind of on accident. I forgot I even had it. I had a Virtua Fighter 3 tournament bout sealed. I never even opened it. Well, I'm never gonna play it. Like I will never ever ever.
Yeah, if you haven't played it by this point.
Yeah.
I think it's weird because I love the Virtua Fighter series, but I think the odd numbered ones, so 1, 3, and 5, are just pretty good. But whatever. It's 2 and 4. God, 2 is amazing because it was such a good game on the Saturn, and then 4, the first time that Sega brought a Virtua Fighter game to another system on the PS2. I love 4 and 4 Evolution, and those games aren't worth anything. 2, you can get copies of 2 basically for nothing, and then 4, that 4 Evolution came out from like 1999 when it was released anyway. So 3 and 3 was worth money, sealed. So I'm just gonna sell this because I don't want to open it. I'm never gonna play it. I got rid of a whole shitload of stuff, just games that I didn't have ever have an ambition of playing. Tons of games. I just went through everything, put them in a big box, put up about 10 to 20 games a week over the last like 2 months, and made some decent cash out of it. So that's kind of cool. But one rule I made for myself, and I know we're jumping right into like game collecting or whatever, or owning stuff, is like before I even started selling all this shit off on eBay, I wanted to like kind of put a nip in the bud? Nip in the bud? Is that what I'm saying?
Nip in the bud.
Yep.
Nip it in the bud. Because I have so much stuff and so many games, and I'm like, God, I just have so much stuff I don't even know what game do you pick to play in a night where I'm just like, holy shit, I have like 5 hours free. Let's grab something. I look at my shelves, and then I wind up just sitting there staring at my shelves for half an hour before I even think of a game to play. So I'm like, what I should do is, instead of, because I buy so many games, like, I mean, just if I go to a thrift shop, I go to, garage sales, whatever, and I'm always finding new stuff to pick up or buying stuff from game stores or whatever. I'm going to sell a game before I can buy a game. So if I ever buy a game, I have to sell something, or I have to play through a game that I've never beaten before. Those are the 2 rules. So if I'm going out and I'm like, no, I'm going to go to some thrift stores and pawn shops or whatever and buy games, I have to first beat a game first, or I'll sell a game. So that kind of got me like in this mood of getting rid of stuff that I don't need, that I don't have. And I've always kind of thought of myself, like, I hate the term collector. And I know a lot of people say like collect cards or collect twats or whatever. And I was like, I'm just not that. I play all the games, or I have conventions that I take my games to or whatever. But that's not even true, because I've got like 1,400 games in this house. I know it because I did a fucking inventory. I have a stupid ass spreadsheet, and there's an app that you can upload it to, and all kinds of crap. So I just went through it. I'm like, I could get rid of 100 games, and I bet I wouldn't even notice. Like, I wouldn't even remember which games I sold. And so I just did it. And I honestly can't even hardly remember half of the games. I remember I just sold an Atari with 20 games.
I had a coworker that did the same thing a couple of years ago. His thing was always planning for his retirement, where he'd have time to actually fucking play the things. And I'm just, I helped him move when he moved out of state. And I was just like, dude, if you're not going to play him now, what makes you think you're going to want to play him when you're 70? It's
exactly.
Like a lot of this stuff won't
get
even
arthritis in your hair.
Your reaction times won't be as good.
Yeah, well, it's like this stuff
and
probably won't even work by then,
It's there's that. I mean, and the thing is, when you retire, like, are you gonna really like? are you gonna really? Is it really gonna matter if you're playing out on original hardware or like emulation? Because emulation keeps like advancing more and more and more. Like, I mean, a Nintendo thing for the Switch, like for $19 a year, you can play like what's 52 NES games now. I think are on it. They just,
ton of classics that they got up there.
they just added Double Dragon 2, and you can play it online with friends and stuff. And I'm like, damn, that is so freaking cool. Like, why do I even have it on NES now? Like, of course, I'm always going to be very much in favor of physical. I love physical games. I love having the original stuff, of course. But like when you're 72, like you're saying, like, is that really going to matter at that point? Are you going to be like moving from an apartment or an old folks home or whatever, and carrying boxes and boxes of old Nintendo games? Are you really? I don't know about that,
dude. If I worked at an old folks home and I saw your ass dragging in boxes and boxes of NES games, I'd kick you the fuck out so fast.
That's awesome.
Just
That's
like,
awesome.
nope, I'm sorry, we're full.
Get out of here. Or you'd hang out and play games with me.
Yeah, either one's a fine choice.
I'll bring my N64, the retirement home, and have the most popular room in the place.
All right, so Luke, what's your pickup?
Let me grab some stuff. It's like 2 feet away.
Oh God, how are you not prepared? He's got his mic on now.
I like how he says it's 2 feet away and then walks out of the camera range.
He took like 10 steps away. That kid, swear to God, he's like 17, 18, I think. I don't remember.
The future is in trouble.
Oh, so sad, so pathetic. I can't believe it.
Although, I mean, I guess I say the future's in trouble, but now we got guys showing off reproduction games on Facebook and like flexing with them, like, yeah, this is good news.
Are you talking about the guy who just did the Dracula X one or whatever? He's like, hey, I don't know what this is worth, but I want to get about $200 for it. And it's like, are you serious?
Yeah, and it's like, okay,
It's a Tobias special.
we've got a Tobias game that somebody probably sold you for $5.
All right, I am back.
Oh, hey, welcome back. The 2 feet sure took you a while.
It's more like 10 feet. So I did order some N64 games, but I don't have those in the mail yet. So I do have some vinyl, some cheap vinyl that I picked up from a local store. Cool. I'll show them to the screen. There is at this local ice cream shop, there's this old boomer like selling records. So I picked up like 5 or 6. So this one is Passion Play by Jethro Tull.
Nice.
And I am a huge fan of Thick as a Brick, but I've never really given this one much of a chance. So it's a little more serious than Thick as a Brick. If I want to listen at some point. This is Genesis Seconds Out. It's a double live album. Has a lot of their proggy stuff on it, which is why I bought it. I'm huge on their 80s output.
Dude, could you imagine if 70s Genesis wrote the music and 80s Genesis wrote the lyrics?
That would be.
Are we talking about?
You would have.
Sorry.
Okay. I have Relayer by Yes. I have this on cassette, but this was pretty cheap, so I got it. I'm a big fan of Fragile Close to the Edge. It's like it's kind of a little more jazzy. This record I have is really underrated.
That's a Camel.
Breathless by Camel. This is their 6th album. They were like a second-tier prog band, and this is like some like old people really don't like this one. I love it. It's a little more like pop oriented. It has their classic lineup.
And what year did that come out?
I think it was the late 70s. I think it was 77. I'm not entirely sure.
So this is literally more than double your age, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like my dad. This is... Sorry, Josh. This is... I have 3 more. This is C1 Earth. It's by Pete Bardens. This is a very obscure album. It's a Camel solo album. It's by the keyboardist. It's pretty cool. It's like a diet version of Dark Side of the Moon.
A diet version of Dark Side.
I had to describe it. This is Scary Monsters by David Bowie. Some people love this one. I'm a huge Bowie fan. People love this one. I love the singles on it. Everything else, not so much. But it has Ashes to Ashes. I had to have it. And this one, I have not listened to at all. This is Zenyatta Mondatta by The Police.
That's a great one.
I don't even know if this is like a live or studio or what it is. I've only listened to one Police album, but that is on my to-listen-to list. So that's it for now.
Are those birds in the background hanging off of your... what is that, a mobile?
Oh yeah, there were like some paper seagull things. It like spins around.
So below that thing, like leaning on the desk there, is that like a sword or a pogo stick or what?
It is a
those
sword.
Those are lightsabers.
They're
One
lightsabers.
of them's broken.
Aww. Why do you have lightsabers, Luke?
Well, I guess we can be done talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, I think we've exhausted all Final Fantasy talk and Tifa's today's talk. Or,
Did you see? Did wait? We're starting about it.
no, we didn't even want to talk about it at all. Honestly,
We just finished it.
It's fucking E3 related. Why wouldn't you want to talk about
we
it?
haven't even gone to E3 yet.
What are we talking about?
I want
We're
to talk
talking about Luke's butt plugs and lightsaber dildos.
Yeah,
or
you missed all
whatever.
that. Hello, Ark. We meet face to face.
Hi.
Pretty
No, we
much.
don't.
Yeah.
We're on camera. We're not face to face. You knob.
Every time Luke talks, an angel dies and falls from heaven. So
Is that what those things are dangling from the ceiling? Are those like slain angels?
I think it's paper mache or something. I don't remember what he said. But hey, okay. So first off, okay. Welcome, Ark. Hi. How you doing?
I don't know. I fell
Okay.
skateboarding, kind of hurt. Whatever.
On your head?
No, I just like ate shit on like a 6-foot ramp, and yep, that hurt.
So I sold a consoleized MVS on eBay the other day. Actually, it's like last Saturday. And I was really pissed. I mean, I shouldn't say pissed. It went for like $190, and I understand that like Alibaba or AliExpress and a bunch of other places have them like super cheap now, and they're probably junk, which I get. But they're they have regular AV outs or S video outs or whatever. And I have one that I got a couple of years ago with SCART out only, and I had to get a PVM and all these special connectors and everything to get it to even play. And it's cool and it's fun, but I don't really ever use it all that often, except for at game conventions, which is whatever. Like, people play it and they don't even give a shit because there's kids and the people that are walking around playing, they don't even understand it. So I could literally put, like a game on I could put like Mark of the Wolves and Dreamcast and put it out there, and it'd have the same effect on 99% of the people that would even play it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to sell my consoleized MVS. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to put it on eBay and see what it goes for. Went for $190. Some dude in Canada, so shipping was a fucking bitch. Some dude in Canada buys it, $190 was like $40 to ship. Shipped it out to him, and he gets it. And I put pictures up. I said what kind of connections. It's SCART out only. It's what is this and this that. He gets it, and he's like, I can't connect it to my TV. And I was like, what do you mean you can't connect it to your TV? And he's like, yeah, these AVs like this, the wires are weird. Do I have to get adapters for it and stuff? And I'm like, no, you need like, if you have a regular stupid tube TV, you need like one of those idiotic adapter things, and even that's going to have like a 2-second delay or something like that. It's going to be not great. So anyway, he goes through and he's like doing all this stuff. He's like, well, this adapter or whatever, this converter, video converter is going to be like $40 and whatever. I just want to return this. And I was like, Jesus Christ. So I pay return shipping, and then I got it back and I tested it and it worked just fine. Because initially he sends this email to me saying it doesn't work, it's broken. He's like, I think the board's fried or something because the video doesn't come through. And I was like, well, show me a picture of how you're connecting it to your TV. And then he's like, okay, well, I can't connect it to my TV. I'm like, you fucking liar. Like, you just lied to me. Just return it. Just tell me you return it. Because I didn't want to sell it anyway. I was kind of pissed that it sold for.
So wait, you paid the return shipping?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because eBay makes you
Because
do
eBay
that.
makes you.
I would have told him to suck my dick. He didn't read the description.
Yeah, well, they'll win. They always win.
The seller wins like 99% of those the buyer wins like 99% of those.
I got his address.
Yeah, I got his address.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Anyway,
Anyways,
his ass with some Hooked on Phonics books.
he ships it back, and then I go and hook it up to the PVM. I take pictures of the connections. I'm like, oh, we're in luck. It's not fried like you thought it was. It's not broken. It's just fine. And so I got it working and everything. And it's like, I was thinking maybe of relisting it, but honestly, at this point, I think I'm just going to keep it because when I first got that message from saying that, oh, I think the board is fried when we return it, I was so pissed. I was just like, I didn't want to sell it anyway.
How much was the return shipping?
It was only like $22. Shipping from Canada to the U.S., yeah, $60 shipping.
You paid $22 in eBay fees to decide to keep your consoleized MVS.
Yeah, well, no, if they return it, yeah, exactly. Yeah, if they return
Plus,
it,
he also got the free headache of dealing with some moron who lied to him about it.
Yeah, man, that sucks. That's why, I just sell games on eBay because, you can't tell me that's not gonna work.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. When we were doing all that selling stuff, I sold a whole bunch of crap on Facebook over those groups, and it is so much goddamn easier.
Oh, on Facebook,
eBay?
Really?
Yeah. Then on eBay, not only are you not paying fees to, fucking eBay for doing literally no work, but it's like usually you're dealing with someone that at least knows what the fuck they're talking about to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I initially put the MVS on Marketplace because I didn't want to sell it on eBay, and it sat for like 3 weeks, and nobody even like.
If you go into that, I think it's the Neo Geo for Life group on Facebook. They've got a separate page for market or like sale stuff. Put it on there.
Maybe I don't know. I think maybe it's just a sign. I got this thing back now. I tested it out. It works just fine. Took pictures of it. Took pictures of the connections and everything. And like one with this hanger that he had, like he must have been fucking around with it because the weird skirt, that like big black part with the
BBC.
Yeah, that thing. He like unscrewed it, and so it started like it was loose and stuff in there. So I had to push it back through and like tie it back out, or twist it back, twist its nipples, if you know what I mean, and then put it in and it worked just fine. So like, maybe it's just a sign. Maybe I have to keep it now, right? It's my thing. Like it's my system. I want to keep it. I think, right.
I guess, dude. This just reminds me though. I have my Tron cabinet listed on eBay, right? Like my arcade cabinet. Who's echoing? What the fuck is this?
I don't hear any echo.
Oh,
This connection's bad.
Oh, there we go.
Cool.
Someone messaged me and goes, "Hey, do you want to do any trades?" I'm like, "You can't fucking trade arcade cabinets through eBay, you idiot. It's not how it works." And then someone asked me if I could ship it through the post office. I'm like, "Sorry, they don't have a flat rate box for freight." I'm like, you have to. It even says like you can pick it up locally, or if you want it like shipped, you have to set up your own freight because that rate changes depending on the day of the week and stuff, because it's like based off of the trucks that are doing it. And this guy's like, "Well, I really need you to ship it to Oregon," and I'm like, "I need you to set that up yourself." And
To what state? What was that?
Oregon, from Ohio.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Or-
So fucking he gets back to me,
You
goes,
say it right.
he's like, "It's like $600 to ship that thing. Can you like make it cheaper?" I'm like, "How?"
Can you make it cheaper?
Like, how am I gonna make it cheaper, guy? What the fuck? And then
Clearly, what you're supposed to do is negotiate a special deal with U.S. Postal Service. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'll give you $300 and a titty board, and you send my stuff.
But then it gets better because I have a best offer on it. People keep messaging me going, "Hey, what's your lowest you'll take?" I'm like, "Fucking figure it out. Make an offer." Like, you can't just ask what my bare ass minimum is and expect me to like give it away. If I had one of those, there'd just be a buy it now with no offers. Like, so dumb. But I get, like Tweak said, it's easier to sell on Facebook. I have the same shit on Facebook. I try to sell and people just start like wanting to trade, or they're shocked that it's like $7 priority to ship a Sega game. I'm like, "What do you want from me?"
Yeah, that's one thing too. I've gotten a lot of trade offers, and I'm just like, no, I'm just looking for cash. And it's like, well, and there's one dude who's like an hour away from me, starts messaging me, and then he's got my messenger, and he's like messaging me over and over again. He's like, "Hey, just so you know, I got a big basement, I got a big collection. If you want to like, bring a box of stuff, and we'll do trades and stuff." And I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." And then he creepily keeps messaging me every week since then, like, and I'm like, "Well, I'm not driving that way, and it's an hour away." It's like, and he just messaged me the other day. He's like, "Hey, just you ever gonna stop by? Whatever. I got a lot of stuff."
I just got some cans of Surge if you want to stop by.
I'll be honest with you. I'd go for the Surge.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to go for the games, but I'd go for the nostalgia.
Yeah. Go to get chained up in a basement.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Selling on eBay for me is easier because I'm just lazy, and it's easier to just. They take care of a lot of the work because, like, the fucking groups, you got to do all that crap with listing, and it's just.
The thing it makes me miss is those, like, sell your stuff on eBay stores that used to be a thing.
Oh, I know, right?
It's like you'd think at the time, like, who would use this thing? I can make my own listing and not pay them. And now it's like, I wish I could just drop this box of crap off with them and say, "You deal with it."
Remember, was it 40-Year-Old Virgin where the lady worked at a consignment shop?
It was, yeah. The guy was trying to make, like, the
And he had all the action figures.
Yeah, he's like, "I really want to buy these." She's like, "It's not for sale here. It's on eBay." He goes, "Just take my fucking money. I want to buy these." Yeah. Selling sucks in general. I have a list or a box of crap to sell, and like some of it's like $400 MSX games. Why are they $400?
Dude.
I don't know.
I have to sell my freaking, or I'm trying to sell my Turbo R, and all I get is people like asking about it, and then they're like, "Oh, it's that much? Yeah, no, sorry."
How much are you trying to get for it?
Like 600.
Is it a box?
Jeez.
Well, if you want to play Metal Gear 2 that bad, that's the price you got to pay.
Is yours boxed?
No, it's not.
Oh, because I sold my boxed one locally for $1,200. Yeah.
Did you have the MIDI one though too?
Yeah, I had the GT.
Yeah, I have the ST.
Oh, you got the poor people one.
Yeah, I got the poor guys one, but I did the double
Just
RAM
$600.
expansion in it, so
Yeah. You don't even need the Turbo R is useless. Just get an MSX.
it's the thing is it really is, unless you're one of those guys that's like, I have to play one of like the 6 Turbo R games.
I really want to play Seed of Dragon. You know,
Or the,
it's
whatever,
really-
like the 5 homebrew games that made specifically for the Turbo R.
it's dumb. There's people also that like set up the operating system on it and the video card, which is admittedly neat, but it's like the same thing as the dipshits with the Amigas that they set that like Amiga 4000 up with like they get the I forgot what they're called, like the Indivision card and all the super, not the super CPU, the accelerator boards, and then the I can't remember the names of any of this stuff. The chip RAM expansion, you like hook it up. And I have 1 mega chip RAM. And I'm like, look, I can go on the internet. I'm in IRC on my Amiga 4000, and it only cost me $900.
You realize that these are the same like 2 people that use your IRC channel, right?
Probably it's just Punch and Fragmare totally. But yeah,
I could see Fragmare doing that. Like,
yeah, well, I had a Amiga 4000 I got like cheap way back when. This was like maybe 2004. I had like the Mega chip. That's the chip expansion. That and the accelerator boards. I was like, look, I'm playing Doom on my Amiga. And then I was like, I could just play Doom on Windows with Doom 95 and not deal with this shit. I parted that thing out, and I was like still in high school. I parted that thing out at the time. All the crap I sold, I made $600 or $700. And then I found an Amiga 2500 on Craigslist like a year later with some of the same crap in it, and I did the same thing again and just made a ton of money because there's people that are like religiously obsessed with only using Amiga for a daily computer, and it's like insane.
They actually made like a version of Quake specifically for that thing, didn't they?
I might have been
I don't know if
Doom.
it's official. There's an official version of Wipeout 2097 on the Amiga.
Well, there was an official version of Quake because it did it for the Amiga back in '96, but
Yeah, that's crazy.
can't imagine why you
It
would
was
be
dead
like,
by
God,
then.
I need to play Quake. Better unbox the Amiga.
Yeah, better get all this add-on hardware. But
It's like, or I could go on Steam and pay the $2 that Quake currently costs and play it right there.
why the MSX people? There's a group of people that do that too. There's a video card, and then there's a sound card expansion called the Moon Sound that gives it like stereo, like sampler music.
I've only had to hear Deadite talk about that for like
Yes.
a year now.
But then they get like there's like a compact flash adapter, IDE crap. They get all this like cartridge expanders where they can put like 5 cartridges in, and then they set up the operating system, and it's like, look, I'm playing Blade Runner on my MSX, and it's like, who fucking cares? Like, look how much money you spent to watch Blade Runner on a shitty screen. Like, what was the point? Like, you're doing nothing except you've basically like launched Windows 95 stuck in like 16 color mode or something, and you can't do anything cool anyways because nothing supports it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was like I like watching some of the stuff that the MSX guys were doing when they were about it. Like, hey, I got this stuff running on MSX or whatever. And I'm like, I would never do that myself, but it's cool that you did it.
Yeah, some of that stuff's cool though, like the hard drive thing and the cartridge expander. Like when I was developing Inferno, I was like, man, I wish I had a cartridge expander because I had to keep switching a couple things. But like that or the hard drive where you can load images, that stuff's cool, but everyone gets they get like tunnel vision for like the most obnoxious thing they can do with the add-on hardware that they never do anything functional with it. They do the most obnoxious thing possible, put it on YouTube, talk about how cool it is, and then it just sits there because it's just this fucking mess hooked up on a desk. And it's like, all right, cool.
I feel like that's kind of gaming in a nutshell now, though.
Yeah. Like, I mean, my MSX, I have an MSX right here. It's an MSX1. I can't see my... Oh, wait, I'm down there. Can you see? like it's right there with my synths. Like that's an MSX.
Oh yeah, shit, it is.
And
Check it out.
this keyboard attaches to it with a cartridge interface. It's like dangling right now, but this is just like an FM synthesizer running off the MSX. And right next to it down there, wherever the fuck, I can't see that. It's Mad Catz, like one of those LCD PS2 screens. I plug the MSX into that so I can see the synth menu, but it runs out to this mixer that's like down here. And it's like going to like actual sound hardware and shit. So that's what I'm doing with it, and it's like an actual use. But some people, they just hook up that same keyboard and like they YouTube it and go, look, I got the demo song playing. I did my music setup, and it's like, do you do anything else? No.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Is that the Panasonic music expansion?
No, that's the Toshiba one. It's like it's right on the box up there. It's just the FM synthesizer Toshiba stuff. They're
okay, because I was like, I know they have the one with like that little annoying mouse with the shit-eating grin on the front of it. That's like,
yeah,
you can get better sound.
Yeah, and Philips made something too that was it was like European, I think, and then Yamaha also had a keyboard add-on because they had the one Yamaha model was specifically like geared towards music production. And like people actually used it for that. Even it was released in Canada, and like actual artist studios were using those. So I mean, it's kind of cool. But a lot of people just hoard the stuff, hook it up, and play with it. It's like the people with that Nintendo keyboard. You can find those on eBay. The regular Nintendo, like Miracle.
Oh yeah, dude. I was when I was in high school. I worked as a landscaper.
Yeah.
And some lady was just throwing that away, and she was like, "If you want it, you can take it." I was like, "Hell yeah!" I've literally never used it, but I've got it.
Yeah, there's so many, like, I get people, and this is the bad thing about like eBay and Facebook. Someone always posts some like fucking obscure, goofy ass thing that came out for a game console. They gotta have it, and then they get it, they set it up, and then they like YouTube it and get their like stream of likes for like the week or whatever, and then it just rots. They don't actually do anything with this stuff. Like, it's a shame that people are more obsessed with putting the video on YouTube and look what I got,
and then actually doing anything with it later on.
Yeah. And it's like the next evolution of shelf candy is YouTube videos demonstrating dumb shit you purchased.
Yep.
Well, it was,
or like
I used to be into the like the VHD stuff, and like
you were gonna say VHS.
VHS, no, the VHD stuff, and I know they had the MSX attachment for the VHS. It's like stupid money because maybe 5 people bought it.
Yeah.
And I knew one guy that got the whole thing set up or whatever, and I helped him with like the finding the styluses and the stuff that would work with that, because that was all I knew. I used it to watch movies. I think I've got like Cobra and Blade Runner on that shit, and that's the only format I've got them in.
Hell yeah.
But and I'm just like, you're never gonna use this again, are you? Like, yeah, you can play Time Gal on it, but it's like far shittier than any other version of Time Gal.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, that's the thing. It's like some of that stuff, like it's neat as like a curiosity, but like some of that stuff, if it's expensive, it sucks.
Yeah, and it's like this stuff is, some of those games are thousands of dollars, and the adapter is thousands of dollars because nobody wanted it.
Yeah, and that's where I draw the line. Like, that's why, like, at one point in time when I was getting out of dealing with the fucking terrible Commodore 64 community, like I had all this crap that was borderline useless. And I was like, people are paying tons of money for this stuff, and I just started dumping it. I was like, I can't believe what's wrong with these people. Like one of the last things I sold, I only had to keep it. It was, I had a MIDI interface some Greek dude made, because there was all these old MIDI interfaces for the C64, like 5 of them. He made this emulator board that could do any of them, and I actually had a MIDI controller going to the Commodore 64, and then ran it out into my laptop. All the Insanity CD music, the leads and bass are a Commodore 64 that I was like playing in real time with a MIDI interface. So I had to hold on to it to finish the music for that game before I finished it. And then I sold the MIDI interface. I bought that card when the dude made it for like $30. Some dude gave me $100 for it. Like, I'm like, why? I don't get it. Like, and sometimes like it was a pain in the ass to use because the software loaded off a floppy disk, so you had to have the floppy drive. All this crap hooked up, and it's like.
Did you sell that on eBay?
No, on a forum. Like, years ago, but some of the stuff I ended up eBaying too. But yeah, people like.
I think you got a good point there, though. Like, I wish more people would do that. If you don't have a use for it, instead of letting it sit on the shelf,
get rid of it.
That's usually my philosophy.
It's like when like I was talking about with the VHD stuff though. A lot of them came with a separate tape component, so you had to have the MSX tape deck, and you're relying on a VHD which has a finite stylus, an MSX with floppies which is finite, and then a fucking tape deck. It's like all three of these things are going to crap out on you at some point.
Yeah,
and you really want to spend thousands on this? Like,
right?
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Josh said, the people that get that stuff, it's a curiosity for like an hour. They get their YouTube video of it.
Get their YouTube video and get their Instagram pictures up.
Yeah, and then they get verbally jerked off for a little bit, and then the thing just goes back in the box, and they don't touch it ever because it's useless.
Yep.
That's like the story of everything. I mean, that's why I want to get rid of the Tron cabinet. I mean, I got that like 10 years ago. It's fucking cool. But it like eventually got less and less fucking cool because it's just in my room. It's like, man, you could be a bookshelf right now with shit that I buy. Like the games on it aren't that good, really. Like when you would see it in an arcade, you play like maybe like $1 or $2's worth of Tron, and then you leave and you don't see it again for like a couple weeks. And you're like, oh, I'm back at the arcade with Tron. When you have it in your house, I did like an 8-hour Tron marathon in front of the cabinet. And then didn't touch it for a month because like I'm fucking sick of the tank game. I don't want to play it now. Like,
be back in 1 minute.
Okay. Am I supposed to stop talking, Josh? What the fuck? But it's one of those things where like when you have the arcade game and it's just available at all times on free play, it starts to become less and less interesting, especially because the games in the Tron arcade cabinet aren't that good. And it's like, it's just sitting. And I know someone could put it in an arcade where it'll see a lot more use. So it's like, fucking get rid of it.
Well, I still have my old Super Nintendo Satellaview. Why? No fucking idea. Because that thing won't ever work again. It hasn't worked since like 2001.
Yeah. I think one of the only gimmicks I kept was Super Scope. Like, that thing was cool, even though there's like, 5 games for it?
Yeah, something like that. I had 2 of them because I got it at a Salvation Army for 99 cents, the bazooka.
Yeah, I got that thing for Christmas when I was a kid, and I still have it boxed. And like, for a while I couldn't play it because I dumped all my CRT crap, did the RGB, XRGB bullshit, and then ended up just hooking the CRT back up in a different room because I was like, this upscaler shit's stupid. I can't play Lycon games.
Yeah, I still have my PS2 GunCon for Time Crisis 2 and 3, and that was fun for like a few days, but I haven't touched it in like years.
It's why I don't get when people buy those like super expensive racing setups with like the pedals and wheel and all that. Like I was at a Goodwill the other day looking for some cables, and they had like 3 or 4 of those things, and it's like somebody spent hundreds of dollars on that, and they're now selling for $1.99.
Yep.
Yeah. Well. And that's like, I know someone that did obnoxious flight simulator crap, and granted, it was a generic flight sim setup, and they were obsessed with flight sims, and every year they'd get, what the hell were the flight sims with the lady's name in it? Why can't I remember?
Cybermorph?
No.
The only flight sim I ever saw someone play seriously was Microsoft Flight Simulator.
That was a big part of E3 actually.
They brought that back. I was kind of surprised.
So hey, we are 20 minutes away from 10 o'clock. If we don't start talking about E3, we're never going to get to it.
Okay, fine.
So I'm gonna one last point on this. If you want to talk about, like, I agree. People should sell their shit if they don't play it. If it sits on a shelf and you never touch it for 6 months, get rid of it because that stuff needs. Get it. You say fuck you?
Oh, I'm telling fuck you. Don't get rid of their stuff.
Yeah. No, seriously. Like, if it sits and collects dust and you're not going to use it in any way possible, even if you just open it and you'll enjoy reading the manual. I mean, I guess that's at least using it in some way. You should move it on because there's other people out there that are just waiting for shit like that to fall into their hands, like that have never played it and that would actually get some use out of it. So get rid of it. So
I want to make like a 2-second point on that because I didn't get to talk about too much.
You get to make a point.
So I never had as big a collection you guys.
You're done, son.
All right, anyway, let's move it on. Okay, so E3.
Wait, real quick. It's Jane's Flight Sims. I knew it was a lady's name. Remember those from the 90s? That's it. It's Jane's Flight Sims.
Nah, dude, I really remember just Microsoft Flight Sims.
I knew someone that played all that crap like religiously.
We had
nothing but.
we had the cockpit for X68,000 though, and that game is so bad.
Yeah.
Is it like Falcon on the TurboGrafx pad?
It's like air management on the Super Nintendo bed. If you've ever had the misfortune to play that garbage.
Air management?
Yeah, it was like this
Not a
fucking.
thing.
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, it was this simulator of like running an airport.
Yeah. It's like the football manager.
It's so bad, dude.
So what are we talking about with E3?
Well, Luke, did you have something you wanted to say? We all cut you off.
Yeah, it's just quick. So I never had like a huge collection, but I used to have a lot more systems and stuff. These days, I kind of keep it more simple. The only retro stuff really of them is N64 and Neo Geo, because most of my gaming is on the couch, my brother. So my gaming now is kind of prioritized about like local stuff, college or like with siblings and stuff.
Dude, I
That was
get
really
that
it.
'cause I recently sold an X68,000 at pretty good price to some douche canoe that went around and resold it when he decided he was bored with it in 3 months.
Who was the
6 months.
Was it 6 months? Excuse
Yeah.
me.
Also, I lost money anyway, all the fees. So you can
Good.
feel happy, tweet.
Good.
Feel happy.
I am happy now. I'm glad you told me that.
You're welcome.
Check out my fucking Jake the Snake. He's got fisting action.
Hey, that's an awesome figure. I think I got that.
Yeah. So we talking about E3?
Yeah. let's jump
Nintendo
into it.
won. Not much about it.
Let's just talk about Final Fantasy VII.
Dude, if you think I'm going to skip over Doom Eternal on an E3 thing, you done fucked up.
Is it gonna suck like Doom 4?
You done fucked up.
Dude, Doom 4 was way better than Doom 3.
That's not saying much. I mean, like the Doom for the Spectrum is better than Doom 3.
I don't know if I'd go that far. That's like saying this
No.
movie's worse than Godfather 3.
Doom 4 was on the Spectrum. I get it.
Wah, wah. So yeah, I thought the Banjo-Kazooie reveal for Smash Brothers was pretty neat.
I will.
Nintendo's
I was psyched watching that, and then when they were like, "It's the Duck Hunt dog," I practically threw my
I was laughing so hard. It was
Yeah.
drink across the room. I was like, "You fucking assholes!"
So I guess the question is then are we going to start to see, like, I know there's a lot of, I was expecting more, from Microsoft and Nintendo and having Microsoft games or Xbox Live on Switch and stuff like that. So can we expect more like rare games to start coming out, or like classic games? Is Rare Replay going to come out on the Switch? That's what I really fucking want. Like, that would be awesome.
Dude, I just want them to do a fucking proper GoldenEye thing with that, and they can't because the license is split up right now.
Well, yeah. That'd be difficult.
They're still making money off of Sea of Thieves for now.
Yeah,
If
but
that
that
starts
game,
drying up, they'll
that
make a
game
new
is
game.
absolute trash.
Is anybody making money off of Sea of Thieves?
Apparently they are. Fallout 76 made money. How? I don't know, but it did.
Okay.
Well, they finally had to give out those canvas bags that they promised after like nobody bought the freaking windbreaker material that they sent out the first time.
I don't know. This is like slightly tangential, I guess. Did you guys think that this year's announcements of all the bullshit had way too many remasters and re-releases and like shit we've already seen
My
enough of?
issue is there are more trailers, less gameplay. That
Well,
was the
I mean,
big one.
it's kind of been that way for the last like 2 or 3 years, where they're like, "Yeah, we've got all these games you saw 10 years ago and loved."
Yeah, this seemed like
And
the
then
most
we've got some-
excessive though.
Then we've got some new stuff. Oh, by the way, that's 4 years out.
Yeah, so play this game you already own, just buy it on the Switch. That was my takeaway. I'm like, what is happening right now? Fuck everything.
And I hate myself because I bought Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze for the Wii U and a bunch of these other Switch games for the Wii U, and then I rebought them for Switch. So it's like I'm exactly that asshole that
You're part of the problem.
Yeah, exactly. I'm that guy that makes it so they keep doing this crap.
Yeah, I just was like so underwhelmed with some of the announcements of stuff. Then it's like the Final Fantasy VIII remastered. Why?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was stupid. Do 9 or don't do any of them.
They're just doing it to distract from how bad 7's combat is going to be.
Hey, Ark,
Hi.
check your hi. Can you check your Discord inbox?
Why?
Just cause.
Is there a dick pic?
You probably got to
Hopefully is.
text.
No,
The
I'm
new
not.
Tifa.
I'm not, but it probably is. Why?
Someone is saying on the YouTube chat. There's a couple
Ooh.
people that have said the Haze, Electro Haze, Tim Favreau's on. He says touch his privates arc.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
And then I believe it's Raffelmauer's Wallop is he's got a new game that he just bought recently that he wanted to share. It was it's Una. It's the Una game. I can't think of what it's like the proper name for it, but it's
You mean like Una for the PC
Super
Engine?
CD, yeah, for PC Engine.
Like Galaxy Fraulein Una? FX?
Galaxy Fraulein Una. Yeah.
You mean the PCFX one, do you?
No, I mean
the one.
it's PC Engine.
Well, cool.
It's
He'll have
just
a lot of fun playing that with all
Yeah.
that text.
Anyway, then somebody else came on. I'm having a hard time figuring out who it is, but they said, "Hi, Andrew. I should share them. I thought you didn't like these people, Andrew."
That sounds like Nintendo.
Oh my god!
Because of the Sarumaru guy. The screenshots I have are interesting. I should share them.
Is what?
Some screenshots he has that are interesting. He said he should share them.
Neat.
Wow. Dave is getting so original with his screen names. Drained Soul 666.
You should have been there the other day when he was on Saru's stream with the ever common Dark Nintendo. Like, yeah, no one's gonna guess who that one is.
Oh my god.
You know, Josh, what he did the other day, he self-deleted from the Facebook like a pussy.
I know, it was awesome.
Oh,
It was weird. It's so random.
And he did the same kind of thing with his Instagram. He changed the name of it once he picked a fight with a buddy of mine over, like, he called him out over having like one of these arcade cabinets or something. It's like Rich Boy Gaming or something. And it's like, no, people that have jobs can afford to buy things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, probably shouldn't even give him a moment of time because he's a complete waste of fucking time. But anyway,
True.
so the big thing about E3, there was some pretty cool trailer for Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, there are two.
Okay. Oh, with gameplay, right?
Well, the one is like Cloud and Tifa in the bar, and then there was that article I just posted, I think today, about how the ethics department at Square made them downsize Tifa's titties. Like that was an actual thing that took place, but they're still like kind of big, so it's okay.
Dude, the whole thing that they made that argument for was it was like a complaint from that, like the ethics department or something. Like,
yeah.
What is that crap?
Well, I mean, at least they preemptively did it instead of having like the triple DT for showing up looking like Unreal.
Yeah,
Tifa.
wow, what a
Yeah.
shame. They're really going to gain all the sales of the people who don't own a console in the first place.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of dumb, but at least like they I think they cheated because it looks like she's wearing like whatever the chest version of Spanx are called. It's like pushing them down because she's got like that black spandex under her tank top now. So it's like that's why they're smushed down totally.
Spanx tops.
Yeah, whatever. But I don't know. I'm worried about the gameplay because it's like it looks like it's gonna be 15 kind of where it's all actiony and doofy, but it's supposed to have turn-based too.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that while they were doing some gameplay footage, they're like, the talking heads that they had sitting there were saying how it's important not to hack and slash because there's so many game elements and so many different things about how one person attacks, then you switch to another person, then they attack or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you just said it's not hack and slash, which probably means 99% of the players are just going to be doing hack and slash.
Well, I mean, at least they showed the guard scorpion for the first one where you can't just hack and slash him because that tail laser, if it's up, will fucking mutilate you.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I am glad about though is the game. I mean, it looks good. Like they did, like the music's the Distant Worlds Orchestra is just doing the Final Fantasy VII music, and the presentation. It looks like how Midgar would look if it wasn't like on a PlayStation 1 with pre-rendered backgrounds and 1997 graphics. Like it looks like they're at least doing all that justice, but it's just like, are you gonna ruin the gameplay, make materia suck? Probably. So it's like it sucks. It's like a half win.
I don't understand how materia is going to work if it's a hack and slash like that, because it looks like they kind of paused the whole thing going on, like everything froze while he was taking full.
Well, it'll probably be like Crisis Core kind of like that, like half-baked materia where it wasn't really materia they just said it was. I don't know. But I mean, if they leave it like relatively turn-based, like I get they're not going to do the straight up turn-based Final Fantasy VII previous battle stuff. If they do something that's still kind of not Dirge of Cerberus with a party, it'll
Yeah.
it'll probably be okay. It's like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, it's like they're trying to pander to people who aren't Final Fantasy fans to get sales from like the new people. But it's like, you could probably just sell to only the Final Fantasy VII fans and make a shitload of money.
Dude, that's what I don't get. It's like who's not gonna buy this game that they're putting out if they played the first one?
Yeah, I know, you say that, but I know someone whose first Final Fantasy was 15, and he thought it was a great game. And then I made him play 7 on Steam, and it like hurt his brain to play it. He didn't understand it. So
15 isn't a terrible game. I mean, honestly,
you're
once
right.
I
It's
got
a fucking terrible game.
I didn't know it. Once I got into it and realized, well, it's kind of like a little bit of Secret of Mana and a little bit of like Kingdom Hearts. Like honestly, it's not. I mean, it's not a serious Final Fantasy game.
The problem is just the AI.
If they had just given it, if they just titled it Final Fantasy 15 Spring Break, everything would have been fine.
Well, they padded it with like MMO mechanics. Like that's the thing they're doing now. Everyone's obsessed with open world and like padding gameplay with dumb shit.
Yeah, because they make games now.
Yeah,
to make them longer.
It's like that's great. All the quests in Final Fantasy, like remember Final Fantasy VII, all the side quests were like interesting or like kind of neat. But then 15, it's like go get me a rock and then some tomatoes, and it's like what the.
Well, 15 was weird because there were main chapters in the game. There were literally like one mission. I remember it was like chapter 4 or something. You go to like this kid's house, and then it's like chapter end, and a cutscene. It's like what?
I think
you just rushed it.
We're all missing the point with Ark's just waiting for the fucking cloud in a dress at Walmart bit from this remaster.
Hell yeah.
That's as far as he's gonna get in the game.
No, man, I gotta play all the way to where I can date Barrett at the Golden Saucer.
That was
yes.
God, that better not be as hard to set up as it was originally, because I got that like.
You just have to treat all the girls like shit for the whole game. It should be easy for some people.
Wasn't there like there was some other thing that you had to have happen too?
Yeah, you have to when you're in the Walmart scene. If you say like, yeah, his name's Barrett when they ask about your girlfriend, you just say his name's Barrett or whatever. That like gives you tons of points for Barrett. I think there's like stupid things you can do, but you basically have to like treat all the girls like shit and then like party with Barrett when you split parties. I don't know. There's a bunch of stupid crap.
There was a lot that went into it. I remember that.
Yeah, my friend, the first time he played through the game, we were talking about this at a lunch table in like 5th grade. He's like we were talking about the Golden Saucer, that scene, because he was at that part. He just finished it, and his first playthrough, he dated Barrett. Like he did. He was like, "Wait, you can go on that with other people?" Like he's like, it was kind of gay. I'm like, yeah. Like I was like, I did it with all the girls. He's like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, don't pick bad dialogue choices. Like I couldn't explain. I'm like, you just suck at the game. But then what pissed me off, man, I had this habit of beating role-playing games, and then I would use my Game Shark and then just go through and just do stupid shit in the games. He stole my save file of my one of my Final Fantasy VII experiments where I just was like fucking with the game, and he this was after Eris died. That's where he.
Whoa, spoiler, bro.
So he took my save file off the memory card because I think I went to pee or something in my house, and he just copied it off the PlayStation. So like a couple days later, we're at school, right? And he's talking, and he's like, "Yeah, I really like the part where like he was like bullshitting about the part where like Eris comes back." And I'm looking, and I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And he kept going and talking, and I'm like, "Did you copy my save file off my memory card?" He's like, "Yeah." Like, what are you talking about? You can get Eris back. Like later in the game, she comes back. I'm like, "No, asshole. She comes back if you use the Game Shark code that's on GAMEZ, you dick. Like, if she doesn't come back, she's dead."
What's weird is I remember seeing that because we were talking about that at the comic store, back when that was like a thing people were, finding out about. And it's like the game has dialogue in there for her at some places.
What, of her after she's dead?
Yeah, like there's places where she'll say shit like, you were originally supposed to be able to do that. And I know you could get like Sephiroth in there too, but he's always in Fury or whatever, and you can't take him out of it.
Oh yeah, is it Fury or was it Brazil? I know what you're talking about.
It's whatever one he's in when you're in the Nibelheim cutscene.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know what you're talking about though. But I'm just hoping the new game doesn't bitch out on the side content. Because if they pull a 15 where your side quest is like gathering twigs and feeding cats at a fucking beach house, I'm gonna be really mad because that's just stupid. Like the side stuff in 7 was great, so they can't screw it up with like fetch quests and MMO bullshit that just doesn't fit the game.
Right. So what was your main takeaway then from the Final Fantasy VII? You know, the video, the trailers, the gameplay, and everything. What was like?
My takeaway was that I needed to quickly go pre-order the First Class $330 edition. That was what I did.
Right.
It's one of those things. I'm stupid. I will buy it because 7. Like I wrestle between is 4 or 7 my favorite. I guess it depends on my mood, but like 7 just there's so much to that game that was done right, and it kind of set the stage for how an RPG is supposed to be. And so I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt that it's gonna kick ass, or at least be like not a piece of shit. And I'll probably have like a biased view of like nostalgia will kick in where I'll like be able to overlook some of the retarded crap. I said the bad word. I'm sorry. I'll be able to overlook some of this crap in the game just because I have like the nostalgia will kick in. You know, like you know if the battle system sucks, but then you know when you're kicking Reno's ass on the pillar before the plate drops and kills everyone. Spoiler alert. You know if the sweet like da 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 music kicks in, I'll be like, I don't care if the battle system sucks because I'm kicking Reno's ass to that guitar music again. Doesn't matter, and it's HD, so he has hands.
Dude, I want to see that. I want to see that fight with the Turks and John Corneo and Wu Tai.
Oh yeah,
HD. I'm like that where they're up on the monument mountain there.
Oh yeah, and Alina's like stuck up, like crucified.
Yeah, she's like crucified on the face. Yeah.
Well, speaking of HD, Wu Tai, I want to see Yuffie. When are they gonna spoil her? Damn. Looking forward.
You know,
tell you what, dude, you could get the date with Yuffie and the gold saucer.
There's this one meme I keep seeing from Final Fantasies. The 7 HD is like, or the remaster is like the one where Cloud is standing and there's like a whole bunch of like big buff dudes behind him, and they show like the Final Fantasy 7 version, and then I see the HD version, and it just looks like incredibly homoerotic. Is that a scene?
That's from Walmart where you have to go and get this stuff to make him look like a chick.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I hope he looks like it because he's actually kind of pretty.
Dude, that whole part of the game is funny though, because if you don't get chosen, the fights for that part are really cool.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about the game is there's little like nuanced like alternate paths you can end up on that don't really affect the story. They're just like amusing depending how you end up through them. Like every time I played through it, I went a different route with the dresses. Like this time I'll pick satin or whatever for it's got a sparkle. Like you pick like
shimmery.
Yeah, like you pick a different one and see what happens and stuff. And it's like there's just dumb crap like that can like alter stuff. And I completely forgot when you leave Midgar, and like I started playing 7 again. When you leave Midgar, and Barrett's like, "Yo, motherfucker, here's your walkie-talkie, so we can like mess with parties and shit or whatever." Or no, he doesn't give you that yet, but he makes you split up. He's like, "Oh, our parties are too big." Like,
yeah, they give it the PMS they called it. I'm like,
the PHS.
PHS, like, that was it.
But before that, you get that in Calm after the thing. When you're out in front of Midgar, and he's like, "Oh, there's too many of us." Like, "Yo, motherfucker, split the party up." If you go with Cloud, Tifa, and Eris, it's just Barrett and Red 13 in the corner. He goes, "Yeah, I thought you'd do that." And it's like, I don't remember him saying that, but he's kind of like, "Thanks, Dick. You take the ladies and leave me with the dog." Cool.
Dude, he fucking Scooby-Dooed him.
Well, I like besides Scooby-Doo Yuffie.
Well, I'm saying that because it was, Forever's always like, "Yeah, man, me and Daphne and Velma will go check this out." You would Scooby go do this bullshit.
Yeah, well, I do have to because if you go because that's everything with Shinra, you can bust in the front like an asshole, or you can go up the stairway that takes forever. But Barrett starts to like lose his shit as he's going up the tower because he's like just tired of walking, and he's doing like I'm gonna die, tell Marlene I love her or whatever. And then Tifa's like, "Quit acting retarded." And it's like, man, I hope they leave that dialogue in untouched.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you get some? You got some kind of items or something for going in the stairs.
Yeah, there's like stuff up the side like you can grab. You can only get it if you go up the thing. But then like, I'm just excited too. Like, everything can suck, but if that motorcycle escape scene is like even more kick-ass, it'll be worth the $330 to buy the stupid game. Because like, I don't know how old you guys were when you played 7. I was 11. I wasn't even. I was 9. when that game came out. So I was like 9 years old. You know, you get up there and they're like, we gotta go, and they're like, where's Cloud? And then it kicks to that cutscene, and he's just like, vroom, vroom,
And he's fucking coming in on the Harley. Yeah.
and he flies down the stairs, and it's like, holy shit! Like, this is the greatest game I've ever played. Because before that, role playing game wise, you had like Lunar with the fucking like anime cutscenes, but this was like 3D, like badass shit, and it just changed everything. Because like even like Beyond the Beyond didn't do that on PlayStation. You didn't have those cutscenes, and I'm kind of hoping that sort of effect happens again with 7 when it comes out now. I hope it like resets the mold for JRPGs and shit, because Square kind of lost their minds. It'd be great if this like fucking fixes everything.
Yeah.
It's
No, I agree. It's it's been a long time since anything's come out that's been like exactly like you say. Like
I hope it's a game changer again, and it like does all the right things that we expect, and then makes people go, okay, this kind of thing still does sell. Because I think they've been afraid to, like, 7 through 9 were great if you like role playing games. If you try to get some like dipshit that plays Skyrim to sit and play like the original 7, like my ex-girlfriend, I tried to get her to do that. She's like, I don't like taking turns to fight. This is stupid. Why are the enemies attacking me if I can't even see them? Because she thought random battles were dumb. Like, all that stuff was just agitating, and then they slowly decided, like, oh, this style of game doesn't sell. People want Morrowind and crap, and like action like stuff. So I'm hoping this kind of is like a good turn-based-ish game again, and then it convinces them, like, yeah, it turns out people still buy and play these.
I really hope you're right.
I really do too. I really do too.
Yeah.
They messed around with the formula too much. Like 12 was whatever 12 was, and then 13 happened. Yeah, that's why I thought 15 was actually okay, because I was so disappointed. I didn't want an MMO, so I didn't like 11 and 14. And I know
why'd you like 15 then? 15's just an MMO with no fucking network connection.
I'm fine with that. It's just a story. It's just
it's like playing 5 or 14 by yourself.
Sure.
Fucking 6 hours to walk to the next town with the chocobo or whatever.
Just get in your car and just warp. It's easy.
Warp. What was really funny in 15 though, I had the Walkman, and I had the Final Fantasy VIII soundtrack playing, and I was just dicking off in the woods looking for shit, and the Final Fantasy VIII boss music started, and I panicked. I was like, fuck, there's a boss, what's happening? And then like 5 minutes later, after I was like, well, I'm confused, why is the boss music playing? I'm like, wait, that's the Final Fantasy VIII music. That's just the fucking like music selection that I personally made while playing. I was like, son of a bitch. I was like all panicked, like thinking I was gonna fight shit, and then I just went back to walking for an hour. Kind of wish I would have fought something.
So other than Final Fantasy VII, like what were some, like, we'll just kind of end here and high points of E3. Like what would you consider to be like a big point of E3 that you're like, oh shit, I'm pretty excited about, or maybe something you're disappointed with?
Ghost, what's it called? Ghostwire? That game where like all the people in Japan just went poof. That really cool trailer they showed.
Yeah.
Tokyo Ghostwire or something like that, with that goofy lady that came out and like was really funny when she presented her like 2-minute little thing, and then they went back to boring shit.
That was funny to watch though.
Yeah, and then Keanu Reeves is gonna be in Cyberpunk. Was that even at E3? I can't remember.
Yeah, it
was.
I
was
like, it was the release date. It was funny.
That was pretty. I like that.
Dude, the Secret of Mana 3 getting an English translation was pretty hype.
And remake.
And then they were like
full remake.
I liked the Secret of Mana remake for PS4. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh yeah, I think it's all right. I think it's pretty cool. It's really easy. It's
not challenging.
Because I was getting like, I think I had all 3 characters within an hour of playing, and I was like, wait a second, this is just too fast. It feels like it's super streamlined. And that first boss, that first thing that you fall when you fall into the pit.
It was like in the center of the village there.
Yeah, I remember playing the Super Nintendo one and getting frustrated with it, because I'm just like it's a dumb first boss and kind of teaches you how to play, but it's still like you still get knocked down, and that stupid little wizard comes down or whatever. He's like, hey, you got to do this, whatever. And like that didn't even happen once, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I must be really good at this game now.
I just wanted him to eat the stupid kid that fell in there with me. It's like he only fell in there with me because he was over there trying to beat me up.
Yep.
That fucker.
No, I'd say a disappointment from E3 would be all of the gameplay from Shenmue 3. It just doesn't look good. I don't know what it is. I swear this game's been in development for like 100 years now, and I mean, it's kind of more of the same, but you'd think thered be some advances. It's just...
Well, Josh, you know what they said recently? There's an article, and Shenmue 3, after it comes out, only 40% of the story will be completed.
I know.
I feel so bad for fans of the series. It's
I
been
don't
made like 20 years.
I don't understand why people keep giving these Kickstarter things money. It's like they constantly shit in a box and mail that to you, and it's like, yeah, now open your wallets for us.
We didn't even started doing this yet, but give us some money now so we can see you in 2022.
Well, aren't they doing refunds for that now? Because they said it's going to be like, was it a?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Game Store.
On
Yeah.
Epic Games, and they said that
That's right. Yeah.
originally they were saying we're not refunding you. Like,
Eat a dick.
They're gonna sell you a collector's box with a code inside of it, basically.
sorry.
Yeah, like that sucks. But I didn't kickstart that fucking crap, so I don't really care.
Neither did
kickstarted
I.
the PS4 version. I like Shenmue. I enjoy the first.
And then Bloodstained shipped, and it's like, okay, cool. This thing has more bugs than a Florida swamp. They basically patched it every day since it came out.
It's only been a week.
Yeah, and it's had like 5 patches.
Good grief.
Well, I stopped kickstarting stuff because it all fucking sucks. Kickstarter's bullshit.
I did Paprium. I'm waiting on that one. That one I'm very positive. Hey, I did Paprium. It'll come out eventually. It'll be awesome. I don't care.
That's the thing. Every Kickstarter, I've been so underwhelmed. Like I kickstarted like board games even, and the one like the Chinese factory stole the lady's money and didn't produce miniatures for this tabletop game, so she just sold it with cardboard tokens. And I'm like, what the fuck? It was like $150.
At least she still bothered to come out with it, though.
Yeah,
the new big Kickstarter game that was getting developed is R-Type Final 2. Actually raised $900K. That was surprising.
So stupid.
R-Type's bullshit. Fuck that game. I'd throw that out.
That's going to be on the TurboGrafx Mini, which was a nice surprise. We'll see how buggy that.
I can't wait to lose a power up because I died and have to reset the game. It's gonna be great. Just like old times. Fuck that game.
Someone's played Gradius 3 too, huh?
I don't like horizontal shooters.
Gradius 3 is awesome.
I will
Gradius 2 is a goddamn perfection game, but Gradius 3
difficult.
on the Super Nintendo, it's like, oh, you know what? You died and lost the power up.
Start over. I know. You might as well just hit reset.
Start the fuck over.
Well, you can do that or put the code in. Here's the code.
Yeah. Speaking of shit like that, though, that's another disappointment just about games in general, and E3 is just another example of that. Is where's the shoot 'em ups? Like we just get first person shooters and over the shoulder third person crap now. Like there's no neat cockpitty spaceship blowy uppy action crap coming out now. It's just a shit show.
What do you mean? Like for new games, new systems?
Yeah,
coming out. There's no hype behind it though. Nobody.
But
cares.
E3, the big dick fucking software developer people aren't putting out cool shit like that. It's always it's fucking theatrical third person bullshit.
All I'm saying is, man, I've been to the shoot 'em ups forum. I've been to the shoot 'em ups Discord. I would not want to make anything for those people ever because all they do is fucking complain. It's like, well, yeah, so it's 99% good, but here's a list of grievances I have. It's like, you know what? Go eat shit. This is better than anything else you've got now. So,
yeah, I don't know. I was talking about this. I think we were talking about it in the dev chat, when Dark Cobalt and Gredler were yelling at us for not talking about dev. When we talked in there about PlayStation 1 was the last era where they made weird decisions and risks with games just to see what happened. And that's
true. The PS2 and the Wii. I mean, the entirety of the Wii.
The Wii had some shit on it.
The Wii was a hardware experiment, though. That forced people to do dumb shit.
Every game on it was a fucking.
Yeah,
but the Wii has diminishing cool games on it that wouldn't have gotten made otherwise. So No More Heroes, Red Steel 2 by Ubisoft. That was a surprise.
It ruined a lot of games, like Metroid Prime 3, where you're stuck like this for the whole game.
Yeah, it was the good and the bad and the ugly.
But back in the PlayStation 1 era, IDOS had their own type of third-person-y action game, and then Konami had their thing, and then who made Siphon Filter? I can't even remember. Was that
whoever made? That was the one with the number. It was 3 number studios.
Right? 989 Studios.
That was it. Yeah.
They all had their own take on the 3D environment action game, and you got a lot of different types of gameplay as a result. But now everything's just the same, but a different company puts the shit out with a different story. But the overall gameplay is kind of always sort of samey now, and it sort of sucks.
Yeah. I mean, there really is only like 6 or 7 different engines that every game uses.
Yeah, and that's what's getting tiring. Like that freaking, what was it called now? I want to call it
Unreal
Kenshiro.
Engine.
What the freaking the spiritual successor to Tenchu that was not a spiritual successor.
Sekiro.
Sekiro.
Yeah, like
Isn't that by From Studios?
That was
Yeah,
yeah,
like-
that was from.
what happened? Like, how do you just make Tenchu with better graphics and don't fuck it up? Just take Tenchu 1 and make it look more gooder. Like, why is it so hard? Like, we get all this weird crap.
So
that
wait, but here's my question with that is it's like your complaint earlier was that we've got too many games that are just remasters of games we've already played, and now you're
Yeah.
demanding that they remake games
No,
we've
no.
already played.
I'm not saying like remake it. I mean like you had the formula. You really just need to take that same type of game, but make it not look like Lego people. Like they can have mouths now and stuff because it's HD. But like that gameplay style work. It's like what was the game? IDOC Ninja. Remember Ninja for PlayStation 1, where it was like a 3D beat 'em up action game?
No, I don't remember
yeah,
that because I play Saturn. So
I
dumb.
actually do remember that because a guy I went to school with had that. We played it at his house.
Well, like those kind of games have like fallen by the wayside. All the 3D games now are kind of clunky. Like I don't know how to explain it. They're like,
Sekiro's not clunky. I hate to admit, but Sekiro's
Sekiro's
kind of
not
sort of
that-
the Dark Souls fans, except doesn't have the build variety that adds the replayability.
Yeah,
So I binged it for a week and I haven't played it since because there's nothing else to do in
just
it.
not that good.
it's not the action game it should have been. Like Tenchu and all that. You know, you could climb on roofs and jump around. Like it was, like it's weird. Like they weren't open world, but they were like open roaming levels. And now everything puts you on like those like hamster trailed scenes where you can't go where they don't let you. Like
Yeah.
the whole weird like exploration of the 3D world and figuring out what you can get into is kind of gone now because you can tell what you're allowed to do because it's so good looking. But the cool action aspect, it's almost like that arcade feel is just gone. Like the PlayStation era had like Fighting Force and like Tenchu. The other game I just mentioned, I just fucking blanked out on because I'm retarded.
All right,
But,
God
like,
damn it. Okay, hey, we're
Fighting
supposed to be doing
Force
our
was
final,
solid. That was the
our
That was the
final-
only beat 'em up on the 64.
was Fighting Force 64.
Yeah, it was the only
There's some
beat 'em up they
shitty
had.
Batman game too, so make that
Oh,
two.
that's right. There was that Batman. There's that Batman game.
I have a funny eBay story.
What is it?
It's pretty good. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, it's about my kids. A couple weeks ago, we were making pizzas. We make homemade pizzas.
So you got
And-
pizzas off eBay?
No, I didn't, but I made homemade pizzas. And so my daughter was helping me do dishes. She's 3 years old, and we were doing dishes, whatever. And she was on a little chair and whatever. And she kind of walked off, and I didn't really realize what she had in her hands, but she wound up walking off with the pizza cutter, right? So I'm like, oh shit, where'd the pizza cutter go? And we wound up just tearing the house up, looking everywhere, upside down. And if nobody knew where it was, and I'm asking my 3-year-old daughter, and she's like, I don't know. I think it's in the fridge. And she's like pretending to look in the fridge, whatever. And I'm like, it's not in the fridge. What's going on? So then this Monday, I get feedback on eBay. I sold an ASCII keyboard controller, the Nintendo GameCube one, the really sweet one with the keyboard on it for PSO, basically, is the only game you could use it for. So kind of going back to our conversation earlier about having shit in the house that you're just like, why do I have this? Let's see what it goes for on eBay. I sold on eBay for $138. Anyway, the guy gives me positive feedback, says product is good. Note, however, a pizza cutter was left in the shipping box. Can be dangerous.
Wow.
So my daughter must have put it in the boxes that I had sitting up that I was ready to like box up and pack away. But yeah, that was pretty funny. So then I like messaged him right away. I'm like, you wouldn't believe it. This is why, because my daughter put it in there. He's like, that's hilarious. Just be careful next time, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Like, that's awesome.
That's fucking sweet.
I shipped him a ASCII keyboard controller for the GameCube and a pizza cutter for free. So
I would have been psyched about the pizza cutter.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I just hope it was clean because we were like in the middle of doing
He's
this.
just licking it.
Mm.
They gave him snacks.
So, all right. Does anybody else have any E3 comments to make? Otherwise,
Yeah, well, hate to bring it back to Sekiro, but the next FromSoft game got announced at Microsoft's E3. Elden Ring.
what is it called?
Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They
Yeah,
only showed a trailer though. It's by the George R.R. Martin. They brought him on.
Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait for them to half finish it and then hire the guys they used to finish the Game of Thrones writing to finish the last half of it. Like
wasn't it? There's a combination here, wasn't it? It wasn't just George R.R. Martin. It was somebody else too, right?
it was George R.R. Martin and From Software was the big thing. It was like It was like, well, we can't get the Lord of the Rings license, so we'll basically just do Lord of the Rings.
We'll take the guy who's does the Game of Thrones series, which is basically like Lord of the Rings, but with movies and lots of violence. So sweet. Yeah, that is a big deal. I did hear about that. I've seen a lot of people pretty hyped about that one, so that's kind of cool. So Cyberpunk, Keanu Reeves,
Yeah.
kind of
And
excited.
you can be transsexual in it now too.
Yeah, they had the poster with the schlong.
I saw that.
But that's fitting because in the pen and paper game, you could get cybernetic dick implants. So like, it's kind of expected. Like,
Dude,
57 years later, you should be able to be a fucking.
It's gonna be like a real
All I'm saying
real
is,
one.
where's if Keanu Reeves is going to start being in games, where's my Bill and Ted game?
Well, they're
Well,
making the
that's
new
on the
movie.
Atari
so
Lynx,
maybe we'll
bro.
get one.
Get yourself
Maybe
an
we'll get
Atari
it.
Lynx.
No, man,
John Wick 4.
we're gonna get a game when the movie's finished.
We
Oh,
better
yeah.
get a game when the movie's finished.
Bill and Ted's excellent fucking remaster.
That'd be awesome.
It'll be
There
the Commodore
also-
64 game in HD.
Oh God.
There was that one Ghostbusters 2 that came out in Japan for the Famicom that was pretty damn cool.
The Gremlins 2 that came out for the Famicom
Yeah.
is also pretty solid.
Yeah.
That
The music in that is
Yeah.
badass too.
The Sunsoft bass sample like rattles your fucking
yeah.
core as you're playing
Some
it.
stuff's so good.
Dude,
There's sound
that the freaking Office theme was like.
Yeah, dude. That's good shit.
Hell yeah.
Fuck
All right. So that's pretty much it. E3 was what?
Dumb.
Dumb. Okay.
It was all right. Meh.
It's getting weirder
Here's
every
Zelda
year.
too.
Nintendo won.
It was a low bar, but Nintendo won.
I
Oh,
think-
and the Google Stadia streaming games.
Oh,
No,
no, we
man.
didn't even talk about the Intellivision. Oh shit. The Amico
Earthworm Jim.
with the new Earthworm Jim. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a thing.
The weird touch screen and this roly poly.
Man,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Final
there's some
Fantasy
weird looking controllers.
FF7 won E3. Let's be realistic here.
Mm. Yeah.
It probably did. I mean,
Final
like,
Fight 7? Is there a Final Fight 7 coming?
Shut the fuck up.
All right. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for listening. If you were able to keep up with us for 70 minutes of ridiculousness, anybody else that has any interest in ever watching us or being a part of the thing, check us out on facebook.com/gamehuggers. And we'll hopefully be back again soon. If we're not, this is probably the last episode ever, and Nintega has won. He's hailed victorious. We will never do another episode ever again, or we don't even really fucking care, and we'll probably be back next week. So anyway, guys, take it easy.
Peace out.
Bye.
bye bye.
Shut up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, bye bye.